Today on air, Ike Fast.
Welcome to German Property News. We give you up-to-date news of the real estate market and important market trends in the real estate sector. In today's special edition, we will give you an overview of one of the top locations in the German real estate market, which is Leipzig. We'll present to you construction projects in Leipzig, which have been realized by the German PropertyGroup, and we'll take a look at Roßmarkt and Papiermühlstraße. The symbiosis of historic building fabric, its development, and contemporary new construction under state-of-the-art aspects contributes greatly to the excellent housing and quality of life. But first, let's take a closer look at the location Leipzig. With 583,221 residents, Leipzig is not just the largest city in Saxony, but also the 10th largest city in Germany. Together with the town Halle an der Saale, which is 32 kilometers away, it forms the catchment of the Halle-Leipzig area, where about 1.1 million people are living. Probably one of the most significant historic points with regard to today's function as trade fair city was the granting of the town and market rights roughly in 11,065. From that time onward, the busy trading of merchants on the markets of this town have developed. At first, there were two annual markets before the regular weekly markets were organized. At that time already, Leipzig has developed into an important commercial center, which in subsequent years led to the world's first small trade fair events in the year 1190. The history of the town Leipzig is therefore closely entwined with the history of trade fairs. People have come together since the ages to the exchange of merchandise and information at the junction of the European trading routes via Regia and via Imperi. At that time already, the granted market rights was the beginning of Leipzig's development into flourishing trade fair town. Until today, Leipzig has an excellent reputation as the oldest trade fair town and is considered an important mercantile location in Central Europe. The extraordinary strong demographic development in Leipzig exceeds present forecasts. Accordingly, 10,100 people per year have moved to the city on average since 2011. By 2030, the population is expected to grow by another 34,500 residents, then adding up to about 670,700. This is equivalent of a growth of 5.9%. At the same time, the number of households will also increase so that the demand for residential space will stay high for the long term. Now, let's take a look at the first project of the German PropertyGroup. It relates to landmark buildings in Leipzig. The houses in Papiermühlstraße 11 and 13 are located in the Stötteritz area of Leipzig. Both landmark buildings were constructed around 1900 and completely renovated by the German PropertyGroup. On roughly 1,315 square meters, overall 20 residential units with 44 to 80 square meters each were created. Here, special value was placed on exquisite workmanship with regard to both the ability of contractors to handle a landmark building as well as the high quality of the building materials. The landmark requirements of the city of Leipzig were fulfilled according to the construction permits. Leipzig enjoys an excellent reputation. Many also call the city the better Berlin. However, this is precisely what is slowly becoming a luxury problem to the city. The high vacancy rate of previous years has melted away. The city is again, since many years, talking about a tight residential market. Therefore, Leipzig has to act. No other large German city has grown as quickly in recent years as Leipzig. And there is no end in sight soon for the Leipzig boom. Between 2010 and 2016, the population has grown by nearly 14%. The vacancies of Leipzig residential units fell from more than 10% in the year 2008 to below 3%, and the extraordinary strong demographic development in Leipzig exceeds present forecasts. By 2030, the population is expected to grow by another 34,500 residents, then adding up to about 670,700. This is equivalent of a growth of 5.9%. At the same time, the number of households will also increase so that the demand for residential space will stay high for the long term. With the strong growth of the city, also the prices on the real estate markets are rising. Since 2008, these have climbed by 66% for newly built condominium apartments. Purchase prices for residential units from all years have been increased by 70%. Depending on the location in Leipzig, the prices for new buildings are moving between 3,310 and 5,980 euro per square meter, and for existing building between 1,225 and 4,500 euro per square meters. In the same period, the rental prices for existing buildings have risen by 44%, and for new buildings even by 74%. Thus, rents in new buildings range between 9.1 euro and 15 euro per square meter, while the rental prices of existing properties are moving between 5.3 euro and 11.7 euro per square meter. This price trend will continue in coming years. The trigger for this is not just demographic growth, but also the increasing demand for singles apartments, which have an average size at this time of 39.9 square meter. Likewise, the about 38,000 students represent a modest weight on Leipzig's residential market. The existing residential units in Leipzig have increased strongly in the past years and currently count roughly 329,488 apartments. In 2018, about 1,144 residential units were completed, while the vacancy rate fell further. It is currently at 4.7%. The annual demand will be rising to around 2,400 residential units by 2030, a new building target of which only 48% was met in the current period. Leipzig is one of the wealthiest cities in Eastern Germany. The strong demographic development at low prices and a currently higher vacancy rate make for attractive offers to investors. Since the population growth is stronger than expected so far, the residential space in Leipzig will also be shown alongside high demand in the future. Moreover, the prestigious university and the strong local economy will boost Leipzig's attractiveness even further. Now, let's take a look at the second project of the German Property Group. Not far away from Papiermühlstraße, another project of the German Property Group is located. A building under landmark protection in Roßmarktstraße has also been renovated. Roßmarktstraße 28 in Leipzig-Lindenau is a treasure of the Wilhelminian time. The house was built around 1900 and was completely run down in recent years. The house has now been completely renovated by the German Property Group. In the process, the historic building style was preserved and the playful pre-war facade was lovingly restored. Both construction projects in Leipzig are excellent example of how renovations are done according to the latest state-of-the-art standards, with a special focus on particularly good energy efficiency. Well, that was the latest of German property news. From now on, we'll bring you all the latest news about the real estate market in Germany on a regular basis. And I see you next time.